So you've been roughly 2 years on the cloud platform. How has the change impacted the business, whether it's you and your IT team or the partnership?
So there's a lot of peace of mind, first off. The security model that iManage provides is better than anything that we could have afforded. So from that perspective, as an IT director, I get to sleep at night, which is nice. There is also a resiliency of the architecture, which is better than we could have done, which provides fantastic business continuity. From the attorney standpoint, um, they can access anywhere. They no longer have that extra step of logging into a VPN client. They just fire up Outlook and there you go. You have your documents all at your fingertips on the laptop. Um, for the IT team, we no longer have to worry about the OS upgrades to the 5 different servers that we had running iManage. We don't have to worry about keeping current with iManage software revs, security patches, all of that stuff. The um, maintenance on the databases, the indexers, all of that goes away. That's all handled by the iManage cloud team now. So for us and in IT, it gives us the ability to focus on things that are more top of mind today. Ransomware and security for us is paramount right now. So we get to focus our efforts on things that have, other impacts to the firm.
Right, and that is so important. Rather than supporting something that we can take on for you, focus on the initiatives that really are truly important for the firm. So, for organizations and IT leadership that are currently planning their move to iManage Cloud, what is one piece of advice that you can offer them?
I can give them several pieces of advice, and if I may, I'd like to.
Of course.
So you mentioned that I had done this more than once. So at a prior law firm, one of the large stumbling blocks for us was that the iManage database had been heavily integrated with the Thomson Reuters Elite accounting system. And in the process of doing that, they had a number of scripts that would read and write to the database. It's important for any firm moving or contemplating the move to the cloud, I should say, to realize that once you're up in the cloud, you lose direct access to the database. So if you're using ODBC calls, all of that needs to be recoded through REST APIs. And that will take your development team some time to do. So plan for that as part of your migration. In our particular case, I think that took us about 5 to 6 months to isolate and identify all of the different processes that were reading and writing the database. Um, there are also other considerations at the prior law firm, as I mentioned. We had multiple databases, 8 of them, in fact. So there has to be a strategy, and the iManage team is phenomenal and will work with you to consolidate those 8 databases as part of your uplift so that the numbering of the documents is changed, but everything is still accessible in one database, and everything is as seamless as it can possibly be. Um, those are the two big, I don't want to say gotchas for a cloud uplift, but those are the things to focus on. If you're using heavy database calls, be mindful of that.
Okay, understood. So many, many lessons learned. And I feel that what you've shared today has been very insightful, very valuable. There are lots of concerns about a project of this magnitude, but it does sound like the way it happened in your case at Greenbaum was extremely successful. I just want to take a step back. So you had mentioned a lot about working together with the iManage cloud team. In terms of shoring up your resources on your side, what were those efforts like?
So for us, there wasn't a whole lot of IT team involvement. We actually had an integrator that we had been using prior that is familiar with the iManage system and expert in it. And they provided some assistance, but in the grand scheme of things, um, when you look at how much IT involvement is there in copying your documents to a USB drive, and mailing that out? How much IT involvement is there in doing the deltas? Well, once that robocopy is scripted and running every so often on a scheduled basis, there's really not a whole lot of IT team involvement. We were able to, you know, handle our normal day-to-day responsibilities with an absolute minimum of impact from the cloud uplift.
Oh, that's good. That's great to hear. I think that folks will be relieved to hear that aspect of the project. So we always like to hear feedback. Is there anything that our teams could have improved upon during the process?
I'll be honest, like I said, there was a tremendous difference in the cloud uplift over the 2 year span for us. And I think the iManage team has really gotten it together in a way where they know exactly what you're going to experience, and it's phenomenal. And it's really nice to work with a company and an infrastructure that has hit all of their SLAs. For 2 years, as you mentioned, we've been on this system. Not once has there been an SLA violation. The systems are available, they're resilient. It's been a pleasure to be on the cloud.
Thank you so much for that, David. We appreciate that feedback, and thank you again for sharing your story. For those who have joined us today for this chat, we'd love to hear your feedback and any questions that might have come out of hearing this story. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to help anytime.
Thank you, Nadine.